Favorite karaoke song. If you're gonna shut the bar down, you're like, all right, I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna play this song. Do I need to tell you what mine is?
Oh yeah, let me hear yours.
Well, for your 30th birthday, we did the karaoke bar.
Uh-huh.
Do you not remember what we did? Me and Frankie did.
I do not.
I do. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan. It always rocks the house. I don't care where you're at, what city in America. This is how we do it. So, sorry.
Okay,
That's
well,
mine.
this is the difference between Noye and I, because if I really
Because you're
wanted...
not a 6'6" black guy.
No,
who
literally,
can do Montel
exactly. Because if I want to rock the house for
Yeah.
karaoke, like forget singing it well just for fun, I sing Britney Spears. It's usually like, oops, I did it again. Or
Do you think I'm singing?
Or
This is
maybe
how
lucky.
we do it. It's just a vibe.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
It's
just
a
a
vibe.
vibe.
So our vibes could not be more different there. And it is ironically funny.
I think it.
Oops, I did it again, or I'll sing Lucky. And it
Yeah, you're right.
crowd goes wild, man.
No man wants to sit in here. Oops, I did it again.
I don't know. I would say that maybe more men sing and dance to
To
that
be
song
honest with
than
you,
women
I'm
do
going
when
to tell
they
you
sing
at this
it.
very moment, I was
Bunch of
today
closet
years
Britney
old
fans.
before I ever even thought about what did she do again?
Do you live on...
What did she do again? I don't even know what she did
played
again.
with his
Did
heart
she-
and got lost in the game. It's in the
Did
lyrics.
she write
It's
a
in
paper
the lyrics.
and then line it out and say, oops, I did it again. I misspelled sincere. I literally never listened to the words of
She
the song.
played
You know why?
with his heart and she got lost in the
Because
game.
I'm a
Noye.
man and I don't listen to Britney Spears.
You're
So.
missing out. Imagine this. You're thinking about moving to Indiana, but the only thing you know about Indiana is that the largest city here is Indianapolis. We've got the Indianapolis Colts, and yeah, that's about it.
No, you got the Pacers.
Right.
And you've got the Indy 500.
That's true. The Indy 500 is a good one. Actually, I bet there's a lot of you who know about the Indy 500 just as much as you know about the
Every
Colts.
American should know about the Indy 500. And if you don't, shame on you.
It's on Memorial Day weekend every year, and I've never gone. So
Yeah,
that
neither
shows
have
how much
I.
I
But
know.
that's something you can expect if you move to the state of Indiana, if you live in any part of it, even Cincinnati.
Great time. A lot of shirtless men with beer bellies with NASCAR written on there.
I wouldn't
on
know
their
anything
chests,
about it. But
so.
what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Fort Wayne and Indianapolis, pros and cons, some differences between the two coming up next.
So for those of you who don't know, my name is Rachel.Engels, and this is Noye Dials, and we are real estate agents here in Fort Wayne, and I also work in Indianapolis too.
That's right. Hey, I'm Noye.
So what we're going to do today is imagine that Noye lives in Fort Wayne,
Which I do.
which he does. Imagine that I live in Indianapolis, which I do not, but I do work in Indianapolis a lot of the time. So I have a lot of experience there. I spend a lot of time there. So we're going to give you the blow-by-blow comparison on what it's like to live in Indianapolis versus what it's like to live in Fort Wayne.
That's right. And that's what you're looking for. So let's get into it.
Noye, favorite Fort Wayne restaurant? Go.
Fort Wayne, favorite Fort Wayne restaurant is Baker Street. It's a high-end restaurant on the expensive side, but anytime that me and my wife Francesca go out for a special night on the town, Baker Street is on the high end. But I also want to give an honorable mention to Storming Crab. It's messy, but it's the only place where we can get crawfish, crab legs, and shrimp, and that's really spicy. So those two places.
Okay, so I'll be honest. There is a ton of restaurants in Indianapolis, and I have not tried nearly enough of them. And I also tend to find kind of my favorite places and get the same things everywhere. But there's a place on Delaware Street called Loco, and I get lunch there a lot. I don't like arroz con pollo. Typically, if I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm getting something more traditional, authentic. But their arroz con pollo is like the best comfort food ever. It's so good. So I get it probably at least once or twice a week if I'm down there. Another one that I'm going to give an honorable mention to, though, because I've been wanting to try it, even though I haven't. We used to have a great Ethiopian restaurant here in Fort Wayne, and those are hard to come by.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was the bomb. And she still does catering. She has a Facebook page now, and she'll do catering for like as few as 5 people because she just likes to cook.
We didn't talk about this, but I need to connect with this lady.
Yeah, she's amazing. Okay, Noye, favorite Fort Wayne neighborhood, go.
Favorite Fort Wayne neighborhood. And again, everybody else in all the other neighborhoods are going to be upset at me because I didn't pick their neighborhood, but Tuscany is my favorite Fort Wayne neighborhood. It's in the 46845. It is technically near Huntertown, but it's still in Allen County. It's one of the most coveted neighborhoods in Fort Wayne. It's in Northwest Allen County school districts, but even if you want to send your kids to private school to Concordia or Canterbury, Tuscany is just fine. But the reason I like it is this subdivision is newer, and a lot of the a lot of the homes in that subdivision have basements, full finished basements, which is something that is harder to come by in the newer homes that were built basically after the pandemic, because the cost of construction have gotten so high. Okay, so I actually did some research on this. Okay. Neighborhoods and subdivisions, we use it synonymously, but it's actually inaccurate. So like take Chicago, older cities have neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Newer, they don't have neighborhoods. Like
they have subdivisions, yes.
They have subdivisions.
So I'm talking neighborhoods though.
Just Fort Wayne doesn't have a lot of neighborhoods. All the neighborhoods are older neighborhoods, so you're
There's
talking.
There's tons of older neighborhoods.
They're downtown, and they're not my favorite.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about neighborhoods from the perspective of which houses do you like the best or which construction do you like the best. I'm talking about like the neighborhood feel. Like what's your favorite
I feel like if that's the case, then you basically eliminate all of my favorite places. Okay, so my favorite neighborhood in Fort Wayne will be West Central. It's an older neighborhood. They have started to upgrade a lot of the older homes, so it has a lot of character. You have homes that are very distinct, and also the community in West Central, they actually have a close-knit community. They do a jerk-off. This year's their 5th annual jerk-off where they make jerk chicken, and everybody in the neighborhood, they actually have a home and gardens tour every year that is in West Central. So that is my favorite neighborhood in Fort Wayne. I know. You're thinking I was going somewhere dirty with the jerk off thing, but it's jerk chicken.
I didn't say anything.
Jamaican food.
I kept my mouth shut. I let it go.
Your favorite neighborhood?
Okay, so there are a ton of neighborhoods in Indianapolis, and I'm going to be biased because it's where I spend the most time, really. But St. Joseph, Chatham Arch neighborhoods are both in downtown Indianapolis. They're like right off of Mass Ave, which is, kind of the street that you go to if you just want to roam around and have a lot of different things to do, whether it's restaurants, bars, shows to see. They have the new Bottle Works development that just went up there, Pins Mechanical. So my favorite thing about that neighborhood is, again, that you're walking distance to everything. So you can just roam and find something to do no matter who you are. But also, it's a big historic area. So there are like a lot of brick roads. There are these quiet streets that have these incredible houses, multi-million-dollar homes. And even though they're in the middle of Metro Indianapolis, the streets are so heavily tree-lined and secluded that it feels like you're just in your casual suburban neighborhood. It's incredibly quiet. You don't hear the traffic noise. That's really cool. It just has a lot of charm and a lot of character, with a lot of really unique small businesses to visit. And
would you say that's similar to like Lakeside Park and West Central? Because you talked about the tree-lined streets. You talked about the charm. I'm guessing that those homes are at least they got a lot of historical homes, homes built before 1950, correct? Same thing.
Oh yeah, we're talking like 18 to early 1900s.
So very similar to like West Central and Lakeside Park, Forest Park area.
Yes, right. So I would compare it more probably to Forest Park. So.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of both, though. Mm-hmm. So that's what's really interesting about these neighborhoods. They're kind of combined. So within these neighborhoods, there are 1 or 2 streets maybe that are going to have like these multi-million-dollar homes and such like thick tree coverage that It's kind of tucked away. It's like its own thing. But then, you walk just 1 street over and now you're in the middle of downtown Fort Wayne of the hustle and bustle. So you get the best of both, which is really incredible for families especially. And I think it's a really neat place to be.
Right. And just to clarify, I know we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but I do think it's important. When you talk about neighborhoods and subdivisions, I actually looked into this, the difference between neighborhoods and subdivisions. Neighborhoods are that's an older term. So, and many people that are moving to Fort Wayne are not looking for neighborhoods and looking for subdivisions. Mm-hmm. So I didn't give my favorite subdivision because technically the subdivisions that I like don't qualify for the neighborhood moniker. But anyway, next.
Okay, favorite thing to do on the weekends in Fort Wayne?
My favorite thing to do on the weekends, and even though I neglect to participate every weekend, the young leaders of Northeast Indiana,
Yolney.
They do the farmers market.
That just reminds me. You remember the movie Holes? Stanley Yelnats.
I don't.
Yo, come on, Holes.
I don't. I feel like every time we do this thing where you say, "Do you remember this?" I say no. Then you tell me, "Oh my God," and then I say, "Do you remember X?" And then you also
for
don't
those
know.
of you who are watching and remember the book and the movie Holes with what's the
When you say Holes, Holes or WO?
No, HOLES.
Tell me
with
about
the
it.
kid from oh my gosh, Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, thank you.
Frankie's in the background, and she said Shia LaBeouf, and Rachel couldn't remember it was Shia LaBeouf, but she's trying to tell me how much
She
I
knows
should
Holes.
know.
She knows Holes. She knew it was Shia LaBeouf. Anyway, one of the characters. Okay, Stanley Yelnats is his name. So every
Stanley
time
Yelnick.
Yelnats.
Okay, Nats, Nick.
Every time you say Yolney, that's
Yolney.
what I think of, which is why I said just Wild
All right,
and I.
well,
I'll
so
stick
we
with
just
Wild
went
and I.
off on a tangent.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Rachel has ADHD.
Farmer's market. So does
okay.
Noye.
Next.
Okay, so that's his favorite thing to do in Fort Wayne on the weekends. It's hard to narrow down one favorite thing to do in Indy on the weekends because it's just so massive. So I'm going to give you one from each side of the coin. I like to have fun. I'm also a mom. So if you're a parent, one of the best things you can do in Indianapolis on the weekends is visit the Indianapolis Zoo. It's an amazing zoo. They have a dolphin show and you can do dolphin experiences.
Shut up.
Yeah, which is not very many zoos have that and have the capability for that. So that is really cool. Another great thing if you have kids is that they have the Indianapolis Children's Museum, which is massive. And they are always changing exhibits. They have a lot of free days throughout the year. So that's super fun. As an adult, I love football, professional football. So Colts games are a blast. But also, I really enjoy going to this great little arcade bar. It's called Tappers. That's probably my personal favorite weekend activity. So you go in, all the arcade games are on free play. They have a great little bar set up. The staff there is amazing. And then outside of this massive room of arcade games, they also have an entire area of brand new Stern pinball machines. And they get the latest and best.
Notice how she said Stern pinball machines.
Yeah,
because
people will
she's
know.
a pinball nerd. Seriously.
Okay.
Go back to that video where she talks about hidden gems in Fort Wayne, which Fort Wayne has the largest pinball arcade.
I'm going to talk about that later. Shh.
All right, we got to get to the hidden gems segment.
We do, yeah. But Tappers is excellent whether you just want to go have a drink downtown or if you want to go play arcade games on free play or if you want to go play some pinball. That's a really cool place to be.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, if you notice, she said, "Oh, my favorite thing to do on the weekend," and notice how she had like several things to do. And we've done other videos, and a lot of people that are here at Fort Wayne, they give me a hard time about it. They're like, "Well, if you compare Fort Wayne to New York City or LA," I'm like, New York City's like 13 million people.
Yeah.
Fort Wayne is 263,000 people. Indianapolis is about 5 times that size.
But you know what, though?
And there is more to do. And I'm not saying that to like put Fort Wayne down at all, but let's just be honest. That's the whole point. People want us to just show the differences.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with it. I live here and don't plan on moving for a long time because I like family-friendly things.
Yes.
And if I want to go to a bigger city to participate in some of these other activities, I'm willing to take the trade-off of the cost of living, which we're going to get into in a second. And if I want to go down there and do free play at Tappers, I can go down there and not have to worry about, sacrificing my rent to enjoy a good weekend down in
It's a 2-hour
Indianapolis.
trip. You can make the drive down for the big stuff. Yeah. And I will say, if you're a family in Fort Wayne, there are tons and tons of family-oriented things to do here. I would say maybe even more than Indy. We have an amazing children's zoo. We have the botanical gardens. We're surrounded by a bunch of like lakes and small beaches.
When you say we, you're talking about Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
you're supposed to represent Indy. I'm representing Fort Wayne in this scenario.
I'm just pitching in for you.
Okay.
You're making it sound like Fort Wayne has nothing to do.
I don't, but there are some differences. Okay, next.
Okay. Favorite bar?
I'm a little older. I don't bar as much. I don't bar hop as much. So the 2 most popular bars are J.K. O'Donnell's, which is downtown. It's near my favorite Chinese restaurant, which is Double Dragon. And pretty much, if you come to Fort Wayne, you got to go to J.K. O'Donnell's. That's where the young professional, young people go. Single people go to J.K. O'Donnell's. And then number 2 would be Mitchell's. Mitchell's is the other place. It's southwest side of town. People go there on fight night. If there's a big MMA fight, they'll show it there. So those are the 2 most popular bars in Fort Wayne.
Okay. So my favorite bar in Indy, oh God, that's so hard because, again, there's so many. So I'm going to go back to the ones that I frequent the most. I mentioned Tappers already. That's a barcade, and it's a great little bar. Just down the road, there is a little divey bar, if you like dive bars, called The Dugout, and it's also a sports bar. So, like, on Sundays, something that I like to do is go play the arcade at Tappers, play some pinball, and then walk a block down to The Dugout and eat their little fried cheese balls and watch NFL football Sunday night on, like, 10 screens. That's pretty cool. There's also one other that I go to pretty frequently. It's called Mass Ave Pub, and it's on Mass Ave, which I mentioned is this huge strip with all these things to do. So that also means that everything's pretty expensive on Mass Ave, but not Mass Ave Pub. Like, it's comparably cheap to a dive bar here in Fort Wayne. They have really great food. They have karaoke some nights. They have a touch tune, so you can listen to whatever you want, and they've got just about everything you could imagine.
Favorite karaoke song? If you're gonna shut the bar down, you're like, all right, I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna play this song.
Karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
You want the one that I sing most
The one that
frequently,
you-
like my
your go-to.
softball song,
No,
or
your
my
hardball.
favorite one?
The
sing?
one that you're gonna rock the house. Do I need to tell you what mine is?
Oh yeah, let me hear yours.
Oh,
Let's start there.
well, for your 30th birthday, we did the karaoke bar. Do you not remember what we did? Me and Frankie did.
I do not.
I do. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan. It always rocks the house. I don't care where you're at, what city in America. This is how we do it. So sorry.
Okay.
That's
Well,
mine.
this is the difference between Noye and I, because if I really
Because you're
wanted...
not a 6'6" black guy.
No,
who can
literally,
do Montel
exactly. Because if I want to rock the house for
Yeah.
karaoke, like forget singing it well just for fun, I sing Britney Spears. It's usually like, "Oops, I did it again," or
Do you think I'm singing?
Or
This is
maybe
how
Lucky.
we do it. It's just a vibe.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
It's
just
a
a vibe.
vibe. So our vibes could not be more different there, and it is ironically funny.
I think it's which one is the one? Is Britney Spears? What was the song?
Oops, I did it again, or I'll sing Lucky, and it.
Yeah, you're right.
Crowd goes wild,
cannot
man.
be. No man wants to sit in here. Oops, I did it.
I don't
again.
know. I would say that maybe more men sing and dance to
To
that
be
song
honest with
than
you,
women
I'm
do
gonna
when
tell
they
you
sing
at this
it.
very moment, I was
Bunch of
today
closet
years
Britney
old
fans.
before I ever even thought about what did she do again?
Do you live on?
What did she do again? I don't even know what she did.
She played
again.
with his
Did
heart
she-
and got lost in the game. It's in the
Did
lyrics.
she write
It's
a
in
paper
the lyrics.
and then line it out and say, "Oops, I did it again. I misspelled sincere." I literally never listened to the words of
She
the song.
played
You know why?
with his heart and she got lost in the
Because
game.
I'm a
Noe.
man and I don't listen to Britney Spears.
You're missing out.
But
She's a
everybody
pop icon.
knows how this is how we do it. Okay? It's Friday nights and I feel all right. Okay? Anyway,
This is how we do
segue.
it.
We'll
Okay.
just cut this part out.
Nope, we're gonna leave that right on in there.
All
Okay.
right, last. Cost of living?
No. Favorite hidden gem in Fort Wayne.
Oh, hidden gem. We talked about this off screen. So Rachel, even though she's representing Indy in this video, she did the Wooden Nickel vinyl store, record store. And I'm a bit of a retro guy. I love retro games. I actually bought a Raspberry Pi so I can get all the old Nintendo, Atari games. So I love retro stuff. And I actually have a vinyl collection. So I know that seems like super, probably not the coolest, but I'm gonna go with Wooden Nickel if you want to find out more about that. We did 2-part series on that. Frankie and Rachel went to Wooden Nickel. What's
Yeah,
yours?
it was a solid series. Check it out. Noye confused Journey and Queen in that video.
Oh my
So
God,
if you want to laugh,
that's so
you should
last.
go watch it.
That's so last
Okay. Anyway, my favorite hidden gem in Indy is actually a little bar right by where I usually stay when I'm in
Another
Indy.
bar.
Yeah, but not because it's a bar. It's because of it's like Cheers. Okay, it's that.
Where
vibe.
everybody knows your name?
Yeah, no, truly, it's like that. Okay, disclaimer: it's actually technically a gay bar, but everybody goes in there. Don't let that stop you. It's not exclusive. So they are like this great tiny little hole in the wall bar. The decor is amazing. They change it like every season, and it's like just really bomb and really unique. They have this deer head above the bar, and they will put like earrings on the deer and like give her necklaces and like wrap her in bows for Christmas. I don't know. It's a vibe. The guy who owns the bar, Jeff, is amazing. They have
Wait, who were they dressing up? The deer?
yeah, the deer head that hangs above the
All
bar.
year?
Yeah, and for every season. So like, for like St. Patrick's Day, she might have on like little clover earrings.
What's her
and then,
name?
Like, I don't know.
Oh,
I've never asked her.
I'm sure.
Never asked her. No, she's dead.
Ask the
She's
bar.
dead and stuck above the bar.
Any inanimate object has a name. I have a scarecrow that I put out every Halloween. His name is Jeff. Yeah.
Anyway,
his name is Jeff.
Jeff, coincidentally, is the owner of the bar, and he's a lovely man, too.
There you go. He might be a scarecrow.
They have really amazing food, though. Like, really amazing food at really reasonable prices. The bartenders are great. It's just a really cute little setting, really nice ambiance. People recognize you when you go in there, which is really cool. And they also do some more outgoing things. Like, occasionally they will do, like, a drag brunch, where they'll have a drag show, and then they'll cook, like, a really bomb brunch, and everything's house-made. Really neat.
Cost of living, housing is incorporated into the cost of living.
Okay.
The median home price here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as the last market update is $225,000. The average house is $265,000 for Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is, how's that compared to the Indy market?
So the median cost of housing in Indy is broken up into two sectors. So you have like Metro Indy, and then you have the rest of Indy. So Metro Indy, the median housing price there is about $275 to $290 in that ballpark. For the rest of Indianapolis, you're looking at between like $240 and $250.
And keep in mind, there's areas that are not known as Indy, because when you think about Indianapolis it's a bigger city. Mm-hmm. So you have areas that some people may say is Carmel and Fishers, which is north of Indy.
Oh, I'm not counting that as Indianapolis.
You see what I'm saying?
But
there's no Carmel and Fishers for Fort Wayne. Like,
no,
it's just,
right.
It's just Fort Wayne. Like, there is no area north of town that is like, well, we're a city that's in the MSA, which is the Metro Statistical Area. Our Metro Statistical Area here in Fort Wayne is the exurbs, Columbia City, Churubusco,
yes,
and the surrounding cities, where the surrounding towns around Indianapolis are actually like super affluent, such as...
Yeah, there's a huge difference.
Matter of fact, Fort Wayne had a minor league basketball team, the Mad Ants, which left Fort Wayne. This was their last year in 2023, and they're going to Fishers, mm-hmm. which is a suburb north of Indianapolis, and they're a farm basketball team for the Indianapolis Pacers. So mm-hmm. Fishers is actually, I think both Carmel and Fishers is, population-wise, I think they're bigger than Fort Wayne. Just those two suburbs are bigger than...
Probably, and they're very affluent. Fishers is actually getting not just the Mad Ants, but they are building an entire new stadium for like the equivalent of our Comets, the Indy Fuel, like the minor league.
The minor league baseball team.
Not baseball, hockey.
Oh, Comets. Oh, yeah. And also, but I should have named that. Can I go back to the hidden gems? And we'll wrap it on this. The Fort
really
Wayne Comets. I went to a Comets game. I've never been into minor league hockey or hockey in general at all, but the minor league Comets game, I've been to two of them.
They're a blast.
Love them. Love it. The mascot, I don't know, he's an eagle. I don't know his name, but he's freaking awesome. They do a lot more fight. I just feel like the vibe there is super cool.
And I'll say this, I've been to a Fuel game now too, mm-hmm. so I can compare. The Fuel games are not nearly as fun as the Comets games. Like, even though it's in Indy and you would think like Indy, bigger, better, no. The vibe at the Comets games is awesome.
Yeah, so that was a bit of what it's like Indy and Fort Wayne, something that we wanted to give you guys that you can kind of reference besides just reading something in an article or whatever the case may be, from two people who live in the area, live in the state of Indiana, in the two cities, and somebody who basically takes listings and helps people find homes in Indianapolis. We only work in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So
the other side of that too is that when people are relocating from other areas to Indiana, and in particular Fort Wayne, I think the question we probably get asked the most is, what's it like to live there, like from your experience? Because we can't teleport there. We don't know the ins and the outs. Right. So we just wanted to give you guys an inside look based on our experience, not just a bunch of statistics we read on what it's really like to live in Indianapolis.
You're doing your research, and we've had people that decided to move to Indianapolis instead of Fort Wayne. Mm-hmm. And that's very, that happens, and we'd love to help you find a home or a place to live in Fort Wayne or Indianapolis. Like, again, Rachel does work that market. So check out our relocation guide for people relocating to Fort Wayne, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Bye.